In this video, we're going to transform this worn-out motorcycle into a futuristic space bike. Rainproof and unlike anything you've ever seen before. The idea is to turn this bike into one with a sleek, enclosed aerodynamic dome, as if you're riding straight out of the future. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the greatness happening here on the channel. Let's go! Today's project is nothing short of insane. The team at Meanwhile in the Garage is setting out to do the impossible, completely transform a Yamaha YZF 1000 R1, one of the most powerful superbikes on the planet, into something straight out of the future. But there's a problem. A motorcycle cockpit, especially one built to shield the rider from heavy rain, isn't just about looks, it creates a whole new space around the rider. And that space comes with challenges. If the cockpit isn't designed right, the rider's head could slam into the roof or the windshield. Not only uncomfortable, but dangerous. So where do you even begin? With a skeleton. The very first task is to build a wireframe that will serve as the foundation of this futuristic cockpit. Metal rods are bent, twisted, and shaped into the rough outline of a roof, while chicken wire mesh is wrapped around them like skin over bones. This rough skeleton sets the form, the proportions, and most importantly, the strength of what's about to come. And then comes the fun part, expanding foam. Armed with a spray applicator, they coat the entire wireframe. As the foam hisses and grows, it spreads through every gap, every curve, swelling into place. In just minutes, what started as thin metal rods and flimsy mesh turns into a solid mass, rigid, strong, and ready for the next stage of transformation. Once the foam cures, the real artistry begins. What was once a rough, lumpy surface now faces its transformation into something sleek and aerodynamic. Armed with sanding blocks and buzzing power tools, the builder carefully shaves away layer after layer of excess foam. Every stroke, every grind, brings the shape closer to perfection. It's not just sanding, it's sculpting. The once chaotic surface slowly smooths out, revealing clean, flowing lines that look like they belong on a futuristic machine. And throughout the process, the builder never stops checking and rechecking. Every curve must match the intended design. Every contour must be flawless. But sanding alone won't be enough. A smooth surface requires filler, spread across the foam, filling in tiny gaps and imperfections. This step is crucial because later, a protective coating will be applied, and without perfection here, the final result would never shine. Meanwhile, the backbone of this project starts to take form. A frame is constructed, forged from square, tubular steel bars. Each piece is measured, cut, and welded together, creating a rectangular base sturdy enough to support what's coming next. And here's where things get even more intense. To shape the polycarbonate that will serve as the cockpit's outer shell, the builder needs something extraordinary, a custom-built heating device. This device must distribute heat evenly, hot enough to bend a tough polycarbonate, but safe enough to handle without risking disaster. The frame is not just about strength, it's about safety, ventilation, and precision. Once it's welded together, heating panels are carefully installed. With this setup, the builder has engineered his own machine, one capable of bending the future into shape. The heart of this custom heating device lies in its panels, infrared heaters. Known for their steady, controlled output, these panels deliver the exact kind of heat needed for a delicate process like shaping polycarbonate. But precision heat alone isn't enough. To maximize efficiency, the builder lines the entire interior of the frame with reflective insulation. It's aluminum foil at first glance, but in this setup it becomes a game changer. Without it, precious heat would leak out, softening some areas while leaving others untouched. With it, the heat bounces back, amplifying and evening out the temperature across every corner of the frame. Inside, the wiring is arranged with surgical precision. Each panel is connected in a way that gives the operator full control. Through the custom control panel, individual heaters can be adjusted, dialed into the perfect level. That means one thing: No hot spots, no weak spots. Just a perfectly uniform blanket of heat. But there's no room for error here. Every single panel must work in harmony. The temperature has to remain rock solid across the entire surface. So, before anything else, it's testing time. The device is powered on, the heat ramps up, and careful measurements confirm everything is stable, even, and safe. Only then is the star of the show brought in, a massive sheet of polycarbonate. This will become the transparent roof of the futuristic cockpit. Strong, clear, and ready to be shaped by fire and pressure. Polycarbonate isn't just any material. It's lightweight, impact-resistant, and can handle high heat. In other words, the perfect choice for a futuristic motorcycle cockpit. But before the real magic begins, precision is everything. The massive sheet is carefully measured, trimmed, and secured over the custom platform. To protect the delicate foam mold underneath, an anti-thermal cloth is laid across the surface, an invisible shield against the intense heat that's about to pour down. And then, the heaters roar to life. One by one, the infrared panels glow red, flooding the chamber with steady waves of heat. The temperature climbs, creeping past 150 degrees Celsius, edging toward 160 degrees Celsius. The exact sweet spot where polycarbonate transforms. At first it's rigid, unyielding. But as the heat soaks in evenly across the sheet, something incredible happens. It softens, becoming flexible, almost alive. This is the moment of truth. The softened polycarbonate is lowered over the mold, and instantly the vacuum system kicks in. Air is sucked out, and the sheet is pulled tight like a skin stretching over bone. Every curve, every contour of the cockpit design is captured with perfect accuracy. It's fast, it's efficient, and it's stunning to watch. What was once a flat sheet has now become a complex three-dimensional canopy, transparent, aerodynamic, and tough enough to withstand the road. The excess is trimmed away, edges sanded smooth, until the piece looks less like raw material and more like something born in the future. With the roof complete, the mold is divided to form the walls of the module. The process has to be repeated again and again to guarantee consistency and efficiency across the entire build. Timing is everything. The polycarbonate sheet is pulled from the heater, still blazing hot and flexible, and rushed straight onto the mold. Every second counts, because if it cools too soon, the material stiffens, and the shape is ruined. As the vacuum whirs to life, it locks the sheet down tight, forcing the softened polycarbonate to wrap itself around every curve, every angle, every edge of the design. This stage demands precision because a weak seal or uneven suction could mean an entire sheet wasted. Then comes the waiting game. Cooling time is never exact. It depends on the sheet's thickness and even the air temperature in the workshop. Pull it off too soon while it's still warm, and disaster strikes. Warping, twisting, a ruined canopy. Patience here isn't optional. It's survival. Once cooled, the canopy is trimmed with care, removing the extra material just as they did with the upper section. Smooth, clean lines replace rough edges, giving the piece a professional finish worthy of the machine it's destined for. Now comes one of the most delicate steps: alignment. The polycarbonate canopy is lowered and positioned over the cockpit's metal skeleton. It has to sit perfectly, every corner flush, every angle precise. Clamps and temporary braces snap into place, holding it steady like a surgeon pinning bone. This is where the raw build finally begins to resemble a futuristic cockpit. The canopy is in place, but alignment is only half the battle. Clamps grip it tight, ensuring it doesn't shift even a millimeter, while temporary braces hold it steady for a final test fit. Everything has to line up perfectly before they can commit. Once the positioning checks out, there's no turning back. Precision drills cut through both the polycarbonate and the steel frame, creating the anchor points that will lock the canopy in place. And here the builder relies on the strongest choice: rivets. Each one is hammered and pressed into position, distributing force evenly and ensuring that the connection won't fail under stress. One by one, the canopy bonds tighter and tighter to the frame, transforming into a single solid unit. But not every section can be locked rigid. Around moving parts and hinges, flexibility is just as important as strength. For those areas, bolts and screws with washers step in, allowing controlled movement without loosening the structure. And as the final touch, additional metal brackets are welded into place. These reinforcements don't just secure the canopy, they make the entire frame tougher, more reliable, and ready for the stress of real-world riding. Piece by piece, the futuristic cockpit is no longer just an idea. It's becoming a living, breathing structure bolted to the bones of a Yamaha beast. These brackets aren't off-the-shelf parts. They're custom-made, each one carefully fabricated to match the unique curves of the canopy and the frame. Crafted from aluminum, they're light yet incredibly strong, and their job is crucial: to spread the canopy's load evenly across the entire structure, preventing stress points from building up. Once shaped, the brackets are positioned with precision along the canopy's edges. Every placement is strategic. Screws and rivets lock them in, adding layer upon layer of reinforcement. These supports aren't just upgrades, they're lifelines, ensuring the canopy holds firm even when battered by rain, wind, or the sheer force of speed. Because this isn't just about design, it's about survival. The polycarbonate must hold its shape under pressure, shielding the rider while never compromising safety. But now, a bigger challenge looms. The cockpit itself is a heavy aerodynamic addition, and the Yamaha's original frame wasn't built for this. If the bike is going to handle this futuristic shell, its skeleton has to evolve. The solution? Strengthen the chassis. The builder grabs the welder, sparks flying as additional steel support bars are fused into key stress points on the motorcycle's frame. Each weld reinforces the backbone of the machine, preparing it to carry the weight of the cockpit without losing stability or speed. Step by step, the R1 isn't just being modified, it's being reborn. The reinforcement continues with precision. Support bars, built from high-grade steel, are welded in. Strong enough to carry the load, yet light enough to avoid slowing the machine down. Every piece is calculated, every gram considered. Custom brackets and mounting points are also fabricated, making sure the cockpit isn't just attached, but locked into the frame as if it were always meant to be there. With the structure secured, the focus shifts to aerodynamics. This cockpit isn't just a shield, it's a brand new surface slicing through the air at high speeds. And that changes everything. The airflow, the balance, even the way the bike handles on the road. To keep performance sharp, the design must remain sleek and efficient. But it's not just about the machine, it's also about the rider. The seating position is adjusted, giving enough room to fit comfortably inside the cockpit. Handlebars are raised and angled to match the new posture, while foot pegs are repositioned for proper control. Every adjustment is about one thing: balance between man and machine. Of course, changes this big demand suspension tuning. If the front end grows too heavy, steering becomes sluggish, dangerous at high speeds. So the suspension system is carefully recalibrated, redistributing weight and keeping the ride razor sharp. And it doesn't stop there. The new cockpit also calls for electrical modifications. Wires are rerouted, systems tested, and connections updated to ensure that everything, lights, controls, and instruments, works seamlessly inside this futuristic shell. Step by step, the Yamaha R1 is evolving, not just into a motorcycle with a cockpit, but into a machine that looks and feels like it belongs to another era. The electrical upgrades don't stop at rerouting wires. This cockpit demands more. Extra lighting is added inside for visibility, while external lights are rewired to match the futuristic design. Every connection is tested, every switch checked, making sure the new system runs flawlessly. Meanwhile, the suspension gets another round of upgrades. Heavier duty springs and reinforced shock absorbers are installed, especially at the front end, where the new cockpit adds significant weight. These upgrades ensure the R1 can handle the load without sacrificing stability or performance. And then, the big moment. The polycarbonate cockpit is finally aligned over the motorcycle. It's carefully lowered into place, hugging the Yamaha's natural lines. The goal isn't just attachment, It's integration. The cockpit must blend seamlessly with the bodywork, preserving the aerodynamic flow that makes this machine a speed demon. But precision here is critical. Exact measurements are taken to ensure the cockpit is perfectly centered, leaving enough clearance for the rider's controls. Any mistake could throw off the balance, or worse, compromise safety. Then comes a subtle but vital adjustment: visibility. The new canopy changes how the rider sees the road. That means mirrors can't stay where they are. Originally, the R1's rear-view mirrors extended outward, right into the cockpit's new profile. Useless in their old position. The fix? Shorter stems. The original mirrors are replaced and remounted, now tucked neatly outside the cockpit's profile. Clean, sharp, and perfectly functional without breaking the futuristic design. What was once a superbike now truly looks like something out of a science fiction movie. While the build takes shape, safety remains front and center. Every mount, every bracket, every fastener is checked and rechecked, because once this cockpit hits the road, it must stay rock solid no matter the conditions. And that's the point of this entire modification. Motorcycles, as powerful as they are at the mercy of the elements. A sudden rainstorm can mean reduced visibility, discomfort, and serious risk for the rider. But with this cockpit, the Yamaha R1 is reborn as an all-weather machine. The windshield alone changes everything. Clear, wide, and shielded from water droplets, it gives the rider an uninterrupted field of vision, something a naked bike could never offer in the rain. Add to that the possibility of integrated wipers, and you're looking at visibility that rivals even modern cars. And it's not just about protection, it's about performance. The cockpit's curved, aerodynamic shell slices through the air, reducing drag and keeping the bike streamlined at high speeds. Even the mirrors tucked neatly within the new profile are designed to avoid turbulence, maintaining comfort and stability. In the end, this is more than a modification. It's a transformation, a prime example of how smart, futuristic design can take a motorcycle beyond its limits, turning a high-performance superbike into a versatile, all-weather machine. And there it is, the Yamaha YZF 1000 R1, now fully equipped to take on rain, storms, and harsh weather without sacrificing a single ounce of performance. What started as a wild idea has become a reality, made possible through advanced materials like polycarbonate and clever structural and aerodynamic modifications. This project wasn't just about building a cockpit. It was about reimagining what a motorcycle could be. Born from the creator's passion for airplanes and fueled by his background in mechanical engineering, the result is a machine that blurs the line between bike and aircraft. A prototype that pushes the boundaries of design and safety for riders everywhere. This is more than just a build. It's a vision of the future. A glimpse at how creativity, engineering, and passion can collide to produce something truly unique. And if you enjoyed this transformation, don't forget to check out Meanwhile in the Garage, where this is just one of many mind-blowing projects waiting to be discovered. And that's the end of the adventure. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to check out the previous videos, stay tuned for the upcoming ones. And if you haven't subscribed yet, join us and hit like and share. See you.